up, I feel that second wind. We're gonna be alright, we're gonna be alright.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Measures of Hope. It's so good to see you. This is my friend Trish. I'm so excited to be with her today here in our yellow chairs and with our beautiful Memphis sign. It's got all, you can't see it, you can't see it, but it has all the little cities, suburbs, towns that are a part of Memphis and their names and their nicknames. It's so cool. It's just a really awesome print. I love it. I love that this church, Cornerstone Church, loves Memphis and the people here. So I'm excited to be here with you. I'm going to share a little bit more about my story today. And then my next video, Trish is going to share her story. I'm pretty excited. So here we go. Let's see. So my story kind of starts off when I was a kid. I had a lot of anxiety, but I didn't know that's what it was. Didn't know it had a name. I just knew that I was afraid all the time, and I felt like if I messed up or I didn't have things together, just all together, if I didn't hold it together, it would all fall apart and everything would go wrong. Like every horrible thing that I imagined would happen if I didn't hold it all together. And that's exhausting. That was exhausting. And I kept it up until I felt like it was in a box. Like found myself in this box thinking like, that's what I call it, where I'm stuck in a box and I can only think this one way. And anything outside of that way of thinking is wrong. And I was stuck in that for so long until I had the first wake-up call I had was when I had my second child. I was diagnosed with postpartum depression and anxiety. So like I already had it. I just didn't know it. And then like having two babies, it was just like way up here. It was crazy. It was very tough. That season of life was so hard. But it was the first time I started getting help and seeking help and realizing that I'm not okay and I need some help to get okay. And that my way of thinking could be different, like that I don't have to have it all together. But it still didn't fully click for a while. I still tried to I played this balancing act, I feel like, where I would give God some of it. I was saved when I was 12. No, 10. 10. Yes, 10. That'll be important later in a different video. So I was 10. I was 12 when I was called to ministry, which is what I was going to talk about in my other video. But I didn't really know how to walk that out. Like how to trust God. How can I trust God? I had a hard time trusting people. How could I trust God who I can't see, and I have to have faith to know that he is there and that he is taking care of me? And I always thought he was mad at me like all the time because I wasn't good enough. I was constantly making mistakes. Constantly. I mean, we all are. But absolutely. As a kid, it just felt like I'm this horrible person. Oh my goodness. And I kind of stuck with that mentality for a while until, yes, it's about 6 years ago now. I had a really horrible fight with my ex, and it was just like my rock bottom. And I spent the whole night, I just realized I was wrong. It was like God gave me a mirror of myself, and I saw myself for the first time, like how this need to control things so they didn't spin out into chaos, even though like holding chaos. On, yes, holding on to it. On to the chaos. Yes, like it just made more chaos. Like I tried to hold it together, but it just made it worse. Like the more I held on, the worse it got, and I was angry and frustrated and bitter.
God pressing and pressing.
Yes.
And pressing, like,
Absolutely. And so that night I stayed up all night just praying and confessing and telling God exactly how angry and how bitter and how frustrated and how tired I was of trying to hold it all together. And that night totally changed my life. I woke up and the anger was gone, the bitterness was gone. I still had some anxiety. That took a little bit longer journey to deal with. But God, that area of my life, God healed like in steps.
Right.
As I grew in faith, the anxiety lessened, but I had to grow first. And sometimes he does that. Sometimes he heals you like instantly, and other times it's a process. And there's good in both. There's purpose in
Absolutely.
both. And so I realized, that night I realized I had made life all about me because I was trying to hold it all together. I couldn't have empathy if I'm trying to hold everything together, the whole world. And that was another thing that changed the next day is I started being able to see other people's needs and how I was affecting them, and how I could make things better. And I asked for forgiveness. And if you ask my mom and my bestie, she'll be on eventually. I'm still convincing her. Um, it'll happen though. I know it. But I'm a totally different person than I was 6 years ago, that lifetime before. And it's amazing to see how much God has changed me, and how the closer I get to him, the easier it is to trust him with those things.
Absolutely.
And stop depending on myself and just trust that he's got it. Anyway, that's a snippet of my story. That's like the highlights of my journey thus far. I've got some more things to share, and they will come up later. But thank you for watching. And up next, we're going to talk with Trish, and she's going to share her story. I'm so excited.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.